Okay, good, good. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. So good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to our first official meeting as Content Creators Toastmasters Club. Thanks to everyone's work and especially to the vision and leadership of our club president, Jenna, who made this happen. So it's a club dedicated to supporting you, turning your passions into powerful content that makes a difference in the world. So wonderful. So let's get ready for fun and inspiring night. So we'll start with the word of the day. I will put it in the chat, or Gina, you can help me with that one. It's great. So I practice the pronunciation, pioneering, pioneering. Maybe you did it better. Please let me help me in that. So the meaning is begin the being the first to do or use something new. So that is a great example. Our club is pioneering a new approach to content creation by focusing on storytelling and audience engagement. You see? So let's aim to incorporate this word into our speeches and discussions tonight. So let's continue. Perfect. So before we move forward, let's take a moment to celebrate our collective content creations wins. So here, please share your recent achievements or exciting projects in the chat, or better, just unmute yourself and share something that you want to inspire everyone here. So who wants to start? I will invite Gina. Do you have any good news that you want to share?
So in terms of content creating, I have wheels in my head spinning about what I want to do. I actually really think that I'm getting closer to actually starting some interviews. So, and sometimes things that happen in our lives like really push us to do these things. And so something that happened recently is my family went down to my parents and my brother and his family went down to San Diego. They were in SeaWorld. And I got a call from my dad saying that my mom had to be rushed to the hospital. And it really scared me. And, the idea that I've had in my head of content creating is I want to interview my family members about creative things, things that they're doing and how they got started, the story behind it, and helping me find ways that I'm connecting with them through creativity and just making those connections to my family members and some of our recording stories of family history. And when that happened, and she's fine, she's doing well right now, but it really made me think that oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't keep putting it off and say that I'll do it later. It just made me realize that I really have to do this now. And so that's why I really wanted to start this club. And so I think through these conversations and meeting people who are content creators, that is what is really inspiring me to really do it. And so now I'm going to set a goal for myself. By next week, I want to start to schedule a conversation that I have either with my mom or my grandma. So I'm getting closer.
Yes, yes. So you can use this club as an accountability. So we will see it the next week, right? I am so happy that your mom is good. She's healthy. So, and all the best for your project. Adeline, right? Adeline? Yes, please. Do you want to share something any progress that you made in your journey as a content creator?
Well, thank you, Eva. Gina, your story is so inspiring. Sometimes it's like, you're right, where it's like, sometimes the life moment is like what triggers the need to do things. So I'm really excited that you're turning such a scary thing into such a positive twist. And I feel like just from like seeing you through like video, like I can tell that you're very positive, and I really love to see that. And I'm excited for next week. As far as what I'm personally doing, I have a YouTube channel, and music is kind of like my thing too. Family is really important to me, and my family has kind of trained me to be a musician, and that's why I ended up in Los Angeles too. Is I was like, let's pursue music. The only thing is that like I kind of got lost in the weeds because it costs money to live here. So I ended up working a full-time job and then kind of losing sight of it. And I've been performing again and just doing like short videos and then writing a little bit. But I feel like because there's so much to do as a musician and as a content creator that I could easily get lost. So this, I would love to serve as like my feedback loop for what are the most important priorities and what has the most impact. Because I could run around in circles doing a whole bunch of different things and feel like nothing's happening. So I really appreciate having this Toastmasters Club, and thank you for having me. If you look up my name on all streaming platforms, like you'll be able to see some like streaming music and some YouTube React videos. So more to come.
Great, perfect. Thank you so much. You know, I will definitely follow you. I will now Google you, and thank you for sharing. And something I also want to share something, and I want to share the screen with you. Something that I learned. So as a content creator, we want to expand our reach to get to people to know us. So we have now our LinkedIn page. So I invite everyone to follow us, and you can find information about our club. And also, because I learned, because of Gina, she gave a workshop about how to use Canva. I created, let me show here. Like, I am so proud of this video. My first video for content creators.
Shoot. We're not seeing it in full screen. If
You can see it?
ours. Not, it was working earlier, but can you just play it?
Okay, let me stop sharing. Let me see it again, because we did it last time, right?
I know we did it.
Sometimes it happens. Let me try again. So, okay, let me try this one. Okay, do you see the screen?
Yes. And can you press the unmute button right there?
Unmute. Did you hear?
Yes.
And if I open it, do you see it?
Not in full screen.
Okay, but sometimes it happens like that. So the one thing that you can do, well, we'll see his stuff. Yeah.
Here. Share, maybe share your desktop.
Oh, let's see. Let's do that to everyone, yes, to see it.
I mean, sometimes I have like 10 windows open, but
I know, that's why I try to. Let me see what I have behind.
That's okay. We won't judge you.
Okay, that is no, that is not the full. That is the full screen. Can you see it?
It is.
Okay, great. So let's see. Let's go again because we want everyone see it. There.
So,
see it? Perfect. So let's start here. Yes, so everyone is welcome to share our page, you know, with their community, and also, yes, and also use it's a small example that what we learn here. Example, Gina she knows very well Canva, and she takes the time to tell us about how to work, and And look at that. Now it's my first video. That is great. So thank you. Thank you for that. So now we continue. Let's see. So now, yeah, it's time for our coaching tip. And this time we want to hear a coaching tip, well, not coaching, no, creation tip. And this time we will hear that from Adeline. Adeline, if you can share a tip that you learned, something about content creation, you know, your music, how we can get inspired. The floor is yours.
Ooh, thank you. So this is something that could be utilized in productivity in general, but it's very helpful for music or for like video batching or anything like that. So let's say you have a series of tasks that need to be done. I need to dress up, set up, record, edit, and post. Those are a lot of tasks. And sometimes it's like, if I have a free day, I'll knock it out all in one day. But sometimes it's hard to do that. So what I do is instead, I batch them. So I'll set up and then I'll put on my makeup and record. And that's one day. But instead of recording for one video, I record for 5 videos. And then the next week, when it's time to do something again, I just edit. I just edit throughout the week, you know, like maybe a little bit, like 30 minutes here, I could squeeze for one day. And then maybe one day I get a lot of time and I edit for 4 hours and I get deep in. But basically by the next week time around, I can just go ahead and schedule everything already out and I'll be good for the next like couple days, if not the whole next month. So that way, kind of like everything is done in a single day that could be done that is productive enough for an entire month. So batch everything.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that, because, you know, also there are days that you feel you're more sparkling, you're more creative, right? And you can have that energy and put it in all the videos. And after, yes, the other days that you need to focus on something else, you just program your day. Wonderful. Thank you. That is a great tip. Thank you so much for sharing. And now it's time to practice our impromptu speaking with our table topics master, Jenna, who prepares interesting questions for us. So, Jenna, back to you.
Thank you, Eva. As I mentioned earlier to some of you, just came back from a trip to Disneyland. I actually was down in Anaheim for a conference. I am an educator. I work for the Santa Clara County Office of Education, and I'm a makerspace training coordinator. So I get to do a lot of fun and creative things all of the time. And I always love going to conferences down in Anaheim because it's right near the park. And so I was just very inspired by both the conference and going to Disneyland. And so I wanted to do table topics today around the topic of fun. So let me tell you a little bit about my day on Tuesday. We actually flew into Anaheim on Monday evening, and this conference that we went to, it actually didn't start until 12:30. We had a keynote and then one session, and then most of the sessions were yesterday and today. So my colleague and I, we decided that we were going to spend the day going to Disneyland in the morning. We'd come back for the keynote and the session, and then go back to Disneyland. We ended up not leaving the park until 12:30. We were in line for a ride just before midnight because it closes at midnight. And by the time we got out of the park and back to the hotel, it was actually close to 1 o'clock. But we had so much fun. And the thing that made it better was the conference keynote that we went to. We got to see a speaker, and her name is Catherine Price. She is the author of the book, The Power of Fun. If you look her up, you can see a TED Talk video from her, and it's all about that. It's all about the power of fun. And I am going to share my screen with you so you can see a little bit. And the table topics today is all going to be around this, which is here. Let me see if I can I put this in full screen? Okay, well, I'm just gonna show you that here's my colleague and I. We had a lot of fun in Disneyland. I even made shirts. So I don't know if you can see right here, but I made shirts. Mine says Forky is my spirit character, and hers is Anxiety from the new movie Inside Out 2. And for those, I kind of shared this a little bit last week. The QR code actually scans to the scene in Toy Story where Woody introduces Forky to the group, which explains exactly why I love Forky, because I think Forky represents a child's creativity before it gets lost. And really, that's what I get to do in my job, is I get to teach educators about the importance of creativity and fun. Because a lot of times when we become adults, we lose that sense of fun. Sometimes we even feel guilty for having too much fun because we have it programmed in our brain that we should be working harder, or, fun is reserved for the kids and not us. But really, this is what I came away with from the keynote that I saw by Catherine Price. She showed this Venn diagram saying that fun is the intersection between playfulness, connection, and flow. And flow is like active engagement. Flow is like being in the zone. I mean, if you've ever played a video game, I grew up playing video games with my brother, and we could be playing a video game for hours and hours just because we're trying to complete a challenge. And that's why for some kids, it's hard for them to step away from the video games because they're so in that state of flow. But other things that she said in that keynote is that fun is the secret to being alive. Fun is energizing. It helps us learn. It helps unite us. I have this in here twice. It makes us productive. It makes us creative. It makes us healthier. And then she asked her daughter, if fun were a color, what color would it be? And her daughter says that fun is the color of sunshine. And I just love that. And so it just got me to think that we all need fun in our lives. And actually, one time that I really experience fun every time that I come to these content creator meetings, because we're able to be creative. We're able to let go of the mistakes that we make in this meeting, because we all know that we're here to grow and to help each other learn. And if we make a mistake, it's okay. We can just move on from that and just enjoy the time that we have together. And plus, so we do a lot of playfulness, we do connection. And then I feel like once we're in the flow of our meeting, we're here and we're present, and we get to follow the agenda, and then this is our time for fun. And so that's what I thought about this table topics for today, is that we could just talk about something. I'm going to just keep the infographic on so that you can think about it. I want you to think of, what do you connect with in this infographic? And can you speak about that topic for table topics? For those of you who might not have been in Toastmasters before, we do 1 to 2 minutes. Since we're a small group, if you want to go a little bit over, you can. We'll give you up to 3 minutes if you want, but we can. I would love for you to just share your thoughts about fun. So you can choose one of these little boxes. How is fun energizing to you? and give an example? How might fun help you learn? When is the time that fun has helped you learn? When has the time that fun has made you productive, has made you creative, has made you healthier? And as you're a little bit thinking about that right now, I did want to share that after the keynote, my colleague and I went to Disneyland, and not only did we have like the best time of our lives, we were talking about work the whole time, and we were talking about why is education not more like Disneyland? And I asked the question to my colleagues, what if there was just an educator day where there were no kids there, and we all just went to Disneyland to have fun, to take pictures of anything that inspired us, and to think about how Disneyland runs through our unique lens. Like, I would think about it through a creativity lens. Somebody who might be an admin might think of it through a systems lens. A principal might think of it through a different lens. And if we all take those educators and then we come back and we share all the things that inspired us, we could come up with some really new and fun, innovative ideas. So for me, that was the perfect example of how just playing and going back to that true state of fun and joy can inspire some really new and innovative ideas. So normally I wouldn't talk this much to intro a table topics, but since we're a small group, I wanted to give you all of that context of this infographic. So now I want you to kind of personalize whatever topic you want about this topic of fun. So something that has inspired you through anything that I just said here. And I would love to hear your thoughts on any of this. And I'm going to ask Jim, do you have the backgrounds for timer? Can you do timer for us?
Yes, I do now. Are we still sticking with 1 to 2 minutes, or are we going with something longer?
Well, let's see. How about, well, let's do 1 to 2 minutes, but if you're at 2 minutes and you get the red, so the way that we do timer is the green will go from at 1 minute, the yellow will appear at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red will appear at 2 minutes. That way you know you've gotten to 2 minutes. And then after that, if you go a little bit longer, that's going to be okay, because we're a small group and really we have time. Okay. So with that, is there anybody who would like to start us off? And you can think about, okay, Eva.
Yes, I know I will start because I know for the other ones, but yes, after definitely. So thank you so much. I love this topic, definitely. And you know, Gina, it helped me understand what happened when I was creating this video for our club. So first, I was in Canva. I just did, okay, my objective is to create an ad on a video to promote our club, right? Because now I am the PPR of this club and I want to expand and invite people to our club. So I sit there and I start creating this video, and I was starting having fun. You know, it was playful to find the pictures, to add colors, to add the music. It's like, oh, I went after that into the zone, because I say, for me, I just put 30 minutes, I will have that done. And no, it went a little more than 30 minutes because I wanted to add and put different things. And I realized that, oh, I am very creative. And it's like, it's one was my first one. I know it will be better next time. But still, you know to do these things, you're like, okay, I can realize that I am a creative person. And after, obviously, the product is there, and you share with your community. And I found that connection also with people, because I have other friends that share that video, and I start people commenting, yes, I want to come to our play, to your club, whatever, and we start connecting with people. And I hope these people will come to our club. So it was very, very interesting, all the process, and you explained it very well with that new approach of fun, and it's what I really experienced. So thank you for sharing the approach of Catherine Price, because it made me realize that I love to create this kind of content. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Yay! Thank you, Eva. You covered that whole Venn diagram, from the playfulness in just the creating. And that's what I love about creativity, is that, like, just throw things out there. Even if it's a bad idea, you can always remove that later, right? Try different things. And then once you get to something that you like, then you know you've got it. And then you talked about that there was the flow in creation. You thought you were only going to do this for 30 minutes, but it went on longer, and it didn't feel like it was this horrible task that you had to do, right? And then connecting with people. So thank you for that. I love how you tied it to this club. Is there anybody else who would like to talk about fun in any way? And I can pull the graphic up again if you need to. Here, I'll put it up just so that you can see it, and then I'll take it down. But any aspect of this that you connect with, or if you just want to share an example of a time that you recently had fun, because I think that's important.
I have one, Gina.
Okay.
Okay, so I finished a gig, and for this gig I had to have like this new instrument. And this instrument was something where it was like a trigger pad. So you'd press a button and then it played some music. You press another button, it would stop and then play that other music. And and I decided to like experiment more with it, and put like a whole set list to it. So like for a verse, I would just do like one button, and then for like the pre-chorus, I would do another button, and for the chorus, I do another button. And so like basically until it gets to like a big part is when you do a little trigger. And it seems simple enough. But the more that I played with it, the more that I was like, wait, I could mash up this other song with this other song, and I could put medleys together, and I could have recurring elements come back. And it was like, I had another gig coming up, and I was like, okay, what if I put like some of the set list on together, and I would just like put it together, and I would just get it fixed during lunch. And my lunch hour passed by so quickly. It felt like 5 minutes. I was like, I barely got like a whole song together, and now it's like done. A whole hour passed by, and I haven't felt that way in a long time. And because usually it's like just perform, and like move on. But finally having the time to experiment and play has really helped me like grow a love for music again. Thank you.
Yay! Yeah. I love that. I love that you're experimenting with new things, and it's just so cool. It shows the importance of play, right? As kids, we would play all the time. That's how we learned about the world. We learn about the world through play, through curiosity. And somehow and somewhere along the way, as adults, at least for me, like I just started to forget about those kinds of things. And actually, I know I've told this story a lot of times, but it's so true that like I really felt like I lost my way. I came in as a child being so creative, and then I didn't believe that I was creative at all. And so, you know, if we continue to play and experiment, then we can come up with these new and innovative thoughts. And something that I thought of at Disneyland is sometimes the entry point into new things is just recreate something that you really like. And then, just like you did, think about remixing something. You hear something, like you can take that and let me just add another layer to it. What can I do? And then I think the next level to that is reimagination, right? You can pull inspiration and then all of a sudden you have something completely brand new that's just yours. And so I love that. Thank you for sharing. That was awesome. And Axe, would you be willing to share anything, any aspect of fun and play or joy?
Yeah, so I'm not a content creator, and one thing that attracts me to this Toastmasters is I wanted to hear from you. I wanted to find that sun, like Adeline has found her music. That's what I want to really do, is find my true self. Um, and I've had things to where I forgot about lunch, I forgot about the time doing something. And I realized, wow, I am enjoying so much. And now I am on a career transition. I'm looking for a job right now. And one of the things that I'm doing to play is I create Canva too. I create presentations for a proposal because I want to be in product management. And I'm thinking of maybe I can use content creation as a part of this career journey. And yeah, so that's one thing that I've been doing, is really creating a lot of different proposal. I'm so happy my current job right now let me play. I was able to present to like 3 managers higher levels about my presentation. I didn't get it because of bureaucracy, but I'm still working on it. Tomorrow, I also have a meeting with a startup founder as well to create it. So that is where your connection on that Venn diagram comes in as well. But I actually think connection is not just connecting with other people, but also connecting yourself. What is true to you? What feels right to you? And I feel like it's a feedback loop too, with those 3 Venn diagrams that you talk about. You get those 3 and you get the middle, right? But I feel also like the middle goes to connect to the other outer circles and go back and forth until it refines itself to where it is exactly. I feel like the Venn diagram is moving along the way as you go through your journey. So that's how I think about it. And I am having fun trying to learn about myself. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you so much for that. Wow, we are pioneering so many new ideas here. And I think this is really how it happens, right? We have an exchange of ideas with each other, and then somebody sparks an idea, that idea sparks something else. This is why it's so important to have these playgrounds. And really, I actually think that Table Topics is like a playground for speaking, right? This is where we can test out our thoughts and ideas. And the beauty of Toastmasters is that we get feedback from one another. And I don't know if Jim, if you noticed, but I put you as our general evaluator. So I'm hoping that you could also, at the end of this Table Topics, also give us some feedback about what you heard and what you liked and what we can improve on, because that's how we get better, and that's how we come up with things. But I really have to go back, Axe, to some of the things that you said, because it resonates with me so well. You, in the beginning of your speech, you talked about finding that sun and finding your true self. And that part is is so important. And that is something that gets lost along the way for so many people. So, for those of you, I mean, imposter syndrome is what comes to mind for me. Like, for so much of my life, I felt that feeling of imposter syndrome, like I wasn't good enough. In any space, I always thought somebody else knew better, so I didn't ever want to say anything. I mean, you might not notice it now, but I was really the quietest person in the room. But it really wasn't until I started doing that digging to, like, who am I really? Who am I at my core? And when I realized that, yes, I'm creative, like I started peeling these things back and like revealing who my true self was. Right. And so in connecting with yourself, like you said, Axe, and trying to find that identity, and it's not just one identity, it's multiple identities. It's these multiple layers of experiences. And I it's not just, I'm a Filipina American. Yes, that's part of who I am, but I'm also creative. I'm also an educator. I'm also, all of these things, those unique experiences and these identities are like these are our superpowers. I don't know if you've ever seen America Ferrera's TED Talk. I think she says, my identity, when she really started to embrace like her identity as her superpower, it just unlocks everything. Right. And I think that's also the power of Toastmasters. This is a place where you can test these things out and you can find your voice. And I think that's why I stay in Toastmasters for so long, is because it really has helped me find my voice. And then to take that and pair it with content creation, then I think, once you found your voice and then you find a platform that you want, like, you can really make an impact on the world. Right. And so, Axe, I want to wish you the best of luck in all that you're doing, because keep doing it and keep doing that work on yourself. Sometimes, like, we think that, we should pour energy into others before doing it for ourselves. But just like when you're on an airplane and they tell you to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before attending to others, we need to do that for ourselves in life. Right? If we are our best selves, then we're going to be our best selves for others too. And that's going to make even more of a difference. And now I'm going to pass it over to Jim to see if you have anything to say about fun and how you engage in fun, or anything that you connect with anything that we've talked about.
Sure. I think I have both the table topics answer and a general evaluator. I was waiting to get called on for table topics, and I focused on a word I saw on the Venn diagram that reminded me an awful lot of work. So the speech will turn around and get to fun eventually, but I do have to start with a little bit of a work thing. You had flow, being in the zone on there, and that reminded me of some concepts that we talk about at work fairly often too. Can you get your project to the point where you're in a state of flow, focus, real productivity? One thing leads directly to the next, and you really feel like you're in the zone and getting things done. Projects, work, they can have that. What I hadn't considered before seeing that Venn diagram was that applies to having fun too. The opposite of flow, at least for me at work, is distractions. Where I'm trying to service 15 different things at once, or be in 2 different meetings at the same time, or something like that. And same thing applies to fun too. You're not having much fun if your fun is distracted. So I think I didn't see it at first, but after thinking about it a little bit, that concept of flow while having fun, I think, really hit too. If it's fun with your family, be present. Have some fun. Focus on them. If it's fun doing something you enjoy yourself, great. Some uninterrupted time to do that is a wonderful thing. So, yes, after seeing that Venn diagram, I am now convinced that there is some flow in fun. So there's the table topics answer. Do you want me to move into GE type answer, or
Before you do that, I really want to comment on what you said, because I think, that's really important. Distractions. Distractions really do interrupt that flow. And the other book that Catherine Price wrote is How to Break Up with Your Phone, the 30-day plan to take back your life. And it doesn't mean get rid of your phone altogether, right? There are reasons why we do need our phones, and there are ways that we can use our phones in really productive ways and very creative ways. But sometimes we engage in, and she called this fake fun. Sometimes we engage in fake fun, right? And I mean, fake fun could be scrolling through social media, right? You think that it's fun, you're learning about what other people are doing, but sometimes we get sucked in, and then sometimes negative thoughts start to creep in. And so I like that you talked about distractions, because that is really important too. And I also like that you talked about work, because work, you can get in the flow. And you know what? Work can be fun too. It's funny because right after the keynote, somebody else had said something about, like, what's something you're going to give yourself permission to do? I wrote down, I'm going to give myself permission to not feel guilty for having fun at work. Because recently I came home and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was having a lot of fun at work. Like, I get to design things, I get to make things. Work shouldn't be like that, but I need to change my mindset, because if you're really doing something that you really love, work should be fun. And right, and you can get in the flow and give yourself permission to do that, because we should all want to get to that point where we just love what we do. That's how you know you found the right job for you, right? So I just want to thank all of you for engaging in this conversation. I think that it's really important. I mean, right after this, I'm going to post this to YouTube, because I really want to. I'm going to promote this meeting, because I think this conversation and this topic is something that more people need to be having, right, as adults, because our fun cannot just be wrapped in me playing with my dogs or playing with kids and reserved for that. Like, what's the fun and what's the joy that you're going to have for yourself, because it's important. So that was my topic for today, and I will pass this over to our general evaluator, Jim.
great. Thanks again. Do we have any of the other role bearers? Do we have anybody counting ums or taking times? I have times I can share if anybody would like answers now.
Yes, we would.
Yeah.
We could do times.
I can jump into that. We don't have a speech evaluator. We don't have an eye counter, but I do have times. And I do have a few phrases and ideas I really like tonight. So times I got from people's table topics answers. Eva, I got 2 minutes 16. Given the weightiness of the fun that we were having and the fact that we had plenty of time to fill, that worked out just fine. Adeline, I got 1:34. That's like pro level, right in the middle of the range. Axe 2 minutes 13, also close, also nice and close. That would have qualified in a contest. There's a 30-second grace period, so you made it. I timed myself at 1:50. Eva might also have a time too, but hopefully it's close.
The same time, 1:50.
Okay, great. My clock isn't too far off then. That's good to know. Let's see. turns of phrase I liked. Actually, Jenna, I was really happy to hear you pick up on this idea that work and fun, there doesn't have to be a dividing line between them. I kind of meant to go there, but just forgot about it. And then I saw the yellow and figured I had to stop throwing new ideas in there. But yeah, I think of times in my life where I remember what one person I was talking to when he was about to retire. I came in on his last day and wished him well. And one of the things I told him was, say, all the time we've worked together, you might think of it as work, but it was fun. It was, it was barely work. So that, like you said, Jenna, really is a sign that you found the right thing. When that wall gets especially rigid between work and fun, and there is no fun at work, that might be a sign that something needs to change. So I also like the idea of avoiding fake fun. Do the things that actually matter to you, do the things that actually set your heart to flutter, and you can get into 100% and just run with it and actually have that kind of fun right in the middle of that Venn diagram. The other phrase I liked, Jenna, which reminded me of something that came up earlier too. I think this one came from you. It was an actress who said that her identity was her superpower. And there was a really good example of that here tonight. Adeline came up and gave her table topics answer, and it was clear she's got an identity. She's a musician. And boy, is that a superpower. She comes in here using the musician lingo and describing the tools of her trade, and reminded me of the times I've dabbled in music. I probably am nowhere near as talented as she is, but still, I had fun doing it back in the day, and maybe it's something to go do again. And now I see music staves going up the screen here. So I just thought that was an excellent example of an identity that really is a superpower. It's absolutely wonderful when one answer reinforces another here. We actually had a lot of reinforcement today, I think, just because of the format of the meeting that we had, because it was small and because we had time to fill. We had responses to our table topics from Jenna, and some of those rivaled the actual table topics answers in length. At one point, I was going to start giving you time signals, but no, it was good. It actually helped us dissect what was said and think about it in a few different lights. So that was, if not something that we have time for in most meetings, we had time for it today, and it added a lot. I'm not sure if anybody else has some feedback, but those are things I picked up on and I enjoyed this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim and Jenna. I love the fact, as you know, here in Toastmasters, we wear different hats. And today, Jenna, she gave a speech. It was a full speech, Jenna, definitely. And I love it because you learn from your work. Something that you learn is fresh in your memory, and you transmit that knowledge to us. Oh, it was beautiful. I love also the table topics, the questions, and everyone participated. So thank you so much to our guests that were very engaged, very participating, like Adeline, and also Ax. Thank you. It's great. Oh, something is happening now. Oh, hi, my screen. It's good. So, and as Jim, taking also different roles as a timer, also as an evaluator. So thank you so much, everyone, for participating actively and your enthusiasm. So now it's time it's almost time to wrap up our pioneering meeting. Oh, I say it. That is good. And yes, I just to remind you, you can invite people, your friends, and you come, and the guests are welcome to come anytime you want. And for that, I just want to say thank you so much and welcome to our content creators Toastmasters Club. Thank you. Now I declare this meeting adjourned. Yes.
We've got one more thing too. Again, really good
Yeah.
to see Ax and Adeline here this evening. If you haven't sent your contact, you had the registration form, but please make sure we have your contact info too. This way we can get you the invites for future meetings. And
Yes.
if you're interested in speaking or joining, we can arrange those if we can reach you.
Yeah, or follow us and also in LinkedIn. Let me share the link. Like that is easier. You have any information about update information about our club or also Meetup. That also, Jenna, we have a lot of followers there. So whatever thing, you can contact me too. That is there. I will set it in the chat. And whatever questions you have or whatever thing, you can find my name in LinkedIn and also contact me. That is easy way too. And the application that Gina said. Perfect.
I did. And if you really want to become a member, I mean, you can come a couple more times to make a decision, but if you are ready, you're also welcome to fill out the membership form and we'll sign you up, we'll get you into Pathways. And you know, we haven't really done a lot of formal speeches just because this really was our very, very first meeting. So as an official club. So we will start getting rolling with actual speeches. But I was going to put this out there to Adeline. Any feedback about our meeting today?
I would have loved. I feel like a lot of this was so positive. I kind of want to be devil's advocate and be like,
Do it.
what is not fun? What does not fun look like to you? Like, when's the time? Because really, it's like now it's just like fun is everywhere and I can't unsee it now. If it's when you're relaxing and it's when you're having fun and when you're working, like, when are you not having fun? So I'm like, maybe it's just a mindset change. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. This is so cute and you're all so wonderful. So this is all
Yeah, I
enjoyable.
love it. Okay, wait. You guys are doing all of these things on your screen. I feel like I should know how to do it. How are you making everything appear? Is it reactions? What is it?
You know, for me, something new. It just appeared when you put reactions on the top, it appeared send with effects. And somehow now I have the choice to put a lot of effects. And you how do you do, Adeline?
On effects, is it?
So example, react. Example, let me take a screenshot, a chat, and let me show you. And it's totally new for me.
I probably have to update my Zoom. I don't think I've done that.
Yes, it does say it's available.
Is that bubble that just popped up by your face? How did you do
This
that?
one?
Yeah.
Are you on a Mac?
Yes, I'm on a Mac.
Updated Mac.
Oh, I probably need to update my Mac too.
So then, yeah, you'll use a few indicators like this, and even this one.
Oh, that is, oh, wow, that I don't have that one.
I work for Apple, so I know all the tricks.
Oh my gosh, that just totally blew my mind. Okay, I'm gonna look into those things, but I think that's adding to fun. I mean, that definitely added to fun for our meeting today, because every time you guys would do that, I'm like, how do they do it? Because I only know how to like put a little thing in the corner, and that's like, that's not what you were doing.
I want to share, but I cannot share it. I don't know what's happening here.
Okay, well, I will figure it out.
Favorite though. This one right here.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, okay. I
want to do that too. So you said you need to update your Mac. Is that? Okay.
Software update, macOS. And then where are this things? Effects.
Wow, that's crazy. So now it just takes your gestures. It knows if you're doing a certain gesture.
Yeah. I'll go and put this in the chat later.
Okay, I'll keep this open. So thank you. Okay, well, I'm glad you came. This was fun. So yes, we'll contact you, and if you want to, if you're available next week, we would love for you to come back, take a role, anything.
Next Thursday, I'm currently working. I could try to see if I'll move it around. And then the following week, I'll be at a family reunion. But
Okay.
but August, we're looking pretty good.
Okay, well, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It
I
was nice
appreciate
meeting you.
Yes, the pleasure is mine. I look forward to learning more on the LinkedIn. Are you able to share what you like content you create on LinkedIn?
Oh, we will see
yeah.
now. Gina,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Gonna
we
check it
should.
out.
We should just all start sharing anything that we make and create there too. That's right, because we need to encourage each other. We need to celebrate one another. You know, that's what we're here for, really.
Yeah.
So we're open to any and all ideas.
Okay, sounds good to me. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, well, have a good night, everyone. Well, for me, it's night.